Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your homeboy Jojo Kaiser here. I'm back with another storytime video for you guys today. So yeah, as of me recording this video, like around 6 something in the morning, it's snowing really hard outside. And if you want to see a picture of that, it's on my Instagram. If you guys want to check it out, it's gonna be down below along with the rest of my social media platforms. So if you guys are really interested to see it, it's gonna be there. So yeah, go check it. With that said, today's story time is gonna be how one of my friends back in 10th grade dated this girl who happened to be crazy, so much so to the point where she tried to stab my friend's mom because she was jealous or something like that. Yeah, I know, crazy story, and you guys are about to hear it. But with all that said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And with all that said, let's get on with today's story time. So today's story time, like I just said, took place at around 10th grade. It's lunchtime. I'm sitting down by a huge table with me and my friends, just eating lunch, talking and whatnot. And then one of my other friends who had a previous class before this lunch period ran over to us, sat down, and told us this crazy story about how his girlfriend was really crazy. And then we're all like, all right, dude, what story do you have for us? Because keep in mind, like, one of my friends who was the main focus of this particular story would tell us like really fake stories about general stuff. Like, he would make stuff up. So naturally, at first, we didn't believe what he was telling us. So, obviously we were like, okay, dude, what story do you have for us? And for the sake of this story time, I'm gonna call this friend Kevin. So yeah, Kevin is sitting there and he's like, yo guys, do you remember me dating my girlfriend? Because, during this time he had a girlfriend that I kind of knew, but didn't really know that much. Like, from my perspective, she seemed pretty much okay. So, generally I didn't have any bad feelings about her. So, me being a normal guy, I was like, yeah, I know your girlfriend. She seems pretty okay. And then Kevin proceeds to say, yo guys, I broke up with her last night. She's insane. And so me and a couple of my other friends who were also sitting by the table eating and whatnot were like, whoa, okay, what the fuck happened last night? So it turns out that Kevin and this other girl, who for the sake of this story time, I'm gonna name Gwen, were dating for like 9 months so far. And apparently yesterday was a day that he was gonna introduce his parents to, his new girlfriend who he was dating for 9 months. And when Kevin is telling Gwen all of this, she's like, yeah, I'm not really sure if, we should meet your parents right now. It seems like bad timing. I had previous boyfriends before where their parents were extremely rude towards me. I had to break up with them because they were very crazy. And Kevin is like, oh, well, you don't have to worry about that because my parents are, really chill. They don't have any issues with you. I've actually told you about them, multiple times, and I've actually told them about you a couple of times, and they have no problems with you, so far. I don't think anything bad is gonna happen. And so Gwen is like, oh, okay, well, if that's the case, sure, I don't mind, meeting up your parents. And so, sure enough, like a few hours later, they meet up for dinner at this restaurant that they went to. Kevin's parents were already there. Kevin and Gwen were going to this restaurant, which I'm not gonna name because, no one needs to know that. It's not that important for, this particular story. So anyways, Kevin, introduces his girlfriend to his parents and vice versa. And Kevin's parents were like, oh my God, I'm so glad that we finally met. My son has told me a lot about you. You seem like a really good person. And so Gwen was like, thank you so much. It's really nice to meet you. And, they walk into the restaurant, they sit down by this really nice table. They're sitting down, they're getting their orders ready, and so on and so forth. The food finally comes, they're eating and talking. And so far, things seem really cool. Things don't seem to be really crazy so far. Well, unfortunately, things are gonna take a turn for the worse in some way, shape, or form, and you're about to hear why. So anyways, Kevin, his girlfriend, Kevin's parents are talking to each other and whatnot. Kevin's parents is, asking Gwen, a couple of questions like, oh, what do you two do during your personal time? Like, do you go to the movies? Do you, go out to eat and whatnot? Do you hang out with friends? Like, what do you guys normally do? And Gwen is answering the questions completely fine. She's like, oh, we just hang out. One time, a few times we went to the movies. It didn't seem that big of a deal. And yeah, we do hang out a lot. And so Kevin is like, yeah, we go to the movies like she just said. We hang out with a couple of friends. We go out. It's nothing that big of a deal. Like, we're just doing simple things. It's really not that big of a deal. And then, Kevin's parents asked Gwen, oh, okay, so Gwen, what do you, want to do for the future? What college do you want to go to? Are you going to continue dating our son after high school is over? And you would think that would be a really, simple question, like, oh, I'm trying to see if I can go to the same college with your son and, hang out and whatnot, right? You would think that would be a normal question to ask and, give an answer to, right? Well, apparently that's not the case this time, because what Gwen happens to say next to, her own boyfriend's parents seems a little bit weird to say, and you're about to hear why. So then Gwen responds, "Oh, well, I'm going to be with your son in college. You don't have to worry about pretty much anything. I'm going to be together with him during college. And, I don't think you have to worry about your own son, seeing as though he's definitely going to spend more time with me than you. So you should probably not talk to him that much anymore since he clearly loves me and you." And after she said that, everyone, and I mean everyone, not just my friend and his parents, but everyone else that was listening to, the conversation, went completely shocked and they were silent. Because what do you say to that, right? Imagine having a girlfriend basically say that, she's gonna spend more time with you and that you should no longer have a, relationship with your own parents since you're not gonna spend time with them that much. That seems a little bit weird to say. Like in that particular situation, if I had a girlfriend that was basically telling me, "Oh, well, you don't have to worry about your mother because you're gonna spend more time with me," I would have been like, "Oh, okay. I'm gonna spend equal times with the both of you. I really don't have any favorites." Although, if I were to say if I had a favorite because I like my mom, like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna, break my quote unquote relationship with my mom just to be with you. Like, no. Like, my mom literally gave birth to me. Like, she's pretty much the reason as to why I'm even talking to you right now. So why would I break that up? That makes absolutely no sense. So, anyways, after 30 seconds of complete silence, Kevin's mom finally speaks up and is like, "Okay, I wasn't really expecting that kind of answer. I'm definitely gonna spend my time with my son as well as you do, right? I'm not trying to question you in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that, that me being his mother, of course I'm gonna have a relationship with my son." Which, I mean, to be fair, is a fair point. Like, yeah, your mother literally gave birth to you. Like, of course you're gonna have a relationship, with your son more than your girlfriend. And so Kevin is telling me all of this, me and a couple of my friends at the table, and we were like, "Holy crap, it sounds like your girlfriend is really controlling." And Kevin was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought at first the moment she said that. But, for some reason in my heart last night, and as well as my head, I was thinking, oh, well, maybe she's just extremely nervous, meeting my parents for the very first time. Maybe she's just saying things that she doesn't really mean to say." But no, she was straight up just crazy. So, anyways, Gwen was like, "Well, to be honest, it doesn't really matter considering the fact that we're going to so and so college that's like a couple of countries and states ahead of you from where you live. So, you're most likely not going to have, money and resources to continue visiting your son from time to time. So, maybe you shouldn't have to worry about that." Which is one of the weirdest things to say to, your boyfriend's parents that you met for the very first time. And she says it in such a way where it's not that big of a deal. But trust me, it is a big of a deal, and you're about to hear why. So then Kevin's mom was like, "Well, look, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna have a, relationship with my son. I have no problems with you, but I think it'll be best for us to just, end this dinner, and we can continue talking about this at a completely different day. It was really nice meeting you, but I think that, we should go now." And she starts to get up. This made my friend's, girlfriend infuriated for some reason. And you wanna know what this psychotic woman, decides to do next to his own boyfriend's mother? She proceeds to flip the entire table over. I don't know how she was able to do that with those like weak little noodle arms that she has for fucking arms. But sure enough, she just flips the entire table over and she proceeds to jump, literally leap over to my friend's mother and starts wailing on her on the goddamn floor in front of her boyfriend and her boyfriend's father, who, by the way, was just sitting there watching this happen. You don't do that to anyone's mother, right? You don't straight up hit someone's mother. Like, no, that's one of the most messed up things a person can possibly do, and I do not condone that. But sure enough, my friend's mom and apparently his girlfriend, or I guess in this case, ex-girlfriend, is just literally on the floor beating each other up. But sure enough, like 5 seconds later, like a couple of waitresses in the restaurant, as well as the manager of the restaurant, I think, came over to what was going on. The manager is like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And so, my friend Kevin and his father are trying to explain, the situation as to how my friend's ex-girlfriend literally flipped over the entire table over to my friend's mom and started, beating her up out of sheer jealousy, I guess. I still don't know the reason as to why she did that. And to be honest, even my friend doesn't know the full reason as to why she did it. So, anyways, the manager calls the cops, and sure enough, like 2 minutes later, the cops come into the restaurant. They notice that my friend's ex-girlfriend and my friend's mother are literally fighting with each other on the ground. And, one of the police officers walked over to my friend Kevin, and the police officer was like, "Do you know what happened?" And so my friend tells him the entire situation. in every single detail. And the police officer was like, "Oh, so your girlfriend, pretty much started this entire situation." And Kevin was like, "Yeah, pretty much." So the police officer was like, "Okay," and he pulled out some handcuffs and arrested my friend's girlfriend, or I guess in this case, ex-girlfriend, and she was taken to a squad car and just straight up left. And so me and my friends were like, "Oh my God, what happened afterwards?" So apparently my friend, my friend's mom and, his dad immediately went home afterwards and to, comfort, my friend's mom. While doing so, for some reason he received, a random DM on Twitter from his girlfriend being like, "I can't believe you're so rude and disrespectful. I can't believe your mother is a pushover. She is so weak and disrespectful to me. I never want to see you again," and then blocked his number. And while he's telling me all this, I'm like, wow, so let me get this straight. Your girlfriend or ex-girlfriend literally fought your mom and apparently got upset that you didn't defend her from your mom? And my friend was like, "Yeah, pretty much. So now we're, completely done and I don't want to talk to her anymore." And so I was like, "Yeah, you dodged a bullet. Like, she seems really crazy." And my friend was like, "Yeah, she is." And yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the story about how my friend's like ex-girlfriend tried to fight my friend's mom out of jealousy, I guess. Look, to be honest, I don't know the full reason as to why she did it. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story. I hope you all enjoyed this really crazy story time. And if you did, I highly recommend liking and subscribing to the channel for more of my dumb content. And if you're interested, be sure to check out all my social media pages down in the description below for those of you that want to check it out. And until next time, guys, this is JoJo Kaiser signing out. Make sure you stay sexy and wear a condom. Peace!